Hi, my babies. How are we doing? Sorry, I've been MIA. I've been dealing with the cold. Okay, so yeah, Friday I couldn't even talk, so it was fun. But I'm coming in for a general read. If this doesn't apply to you, so right with you, you don't want to hear what I have to say, that is okay. I almost lost my train of thought right there. What is something this beautiful collective needs to hear? What is something this collective needs to hear? Interesting. So I got the Queen of Swords and then the Strength in reverse. And then at the bottom of the deck, I got the Six of Wands. Okay, for some of you, I'm kind of hearing constructive criticism. But what I'm kind of hearing is don't dish it out if you can't take it. Don't start a fire and complain it's getting too hot or the fires are spreading too fast. I think this collective, you're very quick to call somebody on their bull crap or put somebody in their place, or maybe make, for some of you, it could be a very validated opinion, or you have a tendency to make unsolicited opinions. I feel like this collective, if it hasn't happened, it's about to, maybe somebody's going to humble you. I feel like when that energy is reciprocated back to you, when somebody puts you in your place or puts you in a corner or puts unsolicited opinions, it's very defensive. Or maybe it's the opposite. For some of you, you get too much into your emotions. Don't dish it out if you can't take it. Nine of Wands in reverse and the Page of Wands in reverse. That's where I'm saying your defenses are up. You get very defensive. And then, okay, I got the Queen of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck, okay? I feel like this collective, you tend to do, again, with that constructive, I immediately picked up constructive criticism. You feel like you know it all. You feel like you have all the answers, and maybe, and again, I keep bringing up unsolicited advice. Maybe when somebody tries to give you advice or tries to give you a direction of some form, you get very defensive. And a lot of it is because all of this is all about survival mode. I've noticed with all of these kind of setting in, and that's all you've ever done. You've always learned how to figure things out on your own. Queen of Swords is a very independent, baddie. And that's kind of how you describe yourself in a lot of ways. I got Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. I also got Leo energy. It's popping out very heavily. Okay. You've always had to learn things very much on your own, but I also do feel like you have a mouth on you, but in a lot of ways, I do think that mouth is going to get you in trouble. That's where I'm saying with that Page of Wands in reverse. I think for a lot of you, you may be backed up in a corner. You don't have the answers to everything. And even if it's not somebody in particular, maybe it's your spirit guides that are going to do this for you. But on the flip side of the spectrum, it's okay if you don't have the answers to everything. It's okay that you don't know everything. Just because you've been through pain and you've always had to defend yourself and always had to fight for yourself and be in survival mode, you make that as your whole personality. You don't have to be in that mode all the time. Not that you need to do this, well, somebody needs to take care of me, or so I need to let somebody in. That's not exactly the message. But you got to be willing to take in what you dish out. You can't give all of your friends tough love advice, but then when they do it to you, then you're like clutching your pearls. Don't do that. And it's not coming from a place of they're against you or they're your enemies. It's, again, you don't have the answers to everything. Just because you have been through the ringer of certain things, that doesn't yes, it makes you wiser. It makes your mind and yourself a little bit sharper. But look at what she's doing. She's hurting somebody else. Is that what you want? And I feel like unintentionally, again, with your words, your mouth, you tend to have a bite to you. Let me see more about this Queen of Swords energy, the devil. It's going to get you in trouble. I just said that mouth is going to get you in trouble. You don't know everything. This is your ego taking over right here. Let me see more about the Strength in reverse. the Four of Cups. Interesting. And I got the King of Swords in reverse. I know this sounds funny, but I don't know why I'm talking to somebody. This could only apply to some of you. If you work in like the therapy, you're a therapist of some form, or you're into psychology, philosophy, because you know how to read a mind. You know how to pick a brain. And I think that's where the attitude of I know everything comes in, because you know how to read a person. You do know how to read a room. But the thing is, as bad as it sounds, again, it's not that, no, you don't know how to read a room. No, you exactly do, but you don't know how to read yourself. I don't think you really realize how mean you can be sometimes, or how it could be too harsh or too tough lovey, or as bad as it sounds, or do you have a tendency of giving out unsolicited advice with that Four of Cups? Do people want your opinions? And as bad as it sounds, don't be humbled. Somebody may rip your head off and say, I never asked for your opinion, if that's the case. Or you may have a friend approach you, be like, hey man, you give me tough love. I'm trying to give it back to you. You're not this collective in the nicest way. You're not being reciprocative enough when it comes to the way you communicate to people. I love Queen of Swords. She's my queen of boundaries. She don't put up with nobody's crap. That's who I'm talking to. You put up with nobody. But I don't think you look in the mirror sometimes and realize, not that always you're the problem, but again, humble. You need to calm down. Don't start fires and then be shocked why that fire spread. For some of you, this could be a sign. Maybe you're trying to start a fight with somebody because you think you're right. Well, I got to settle this. I wouldn't. Let it go. Four of Cups, maybe you need to this collective, you really need to learn to let some things go. Is it worth it? Is it worth, voicing your opinion on something when, as bad as it sounds, nobody asked for it? This is tough love, but I'm trying to save you from being humbled, because I'm hearing somebody could rip your head off. And again, every time somebody does do that to you, or they give the same energy you dish out, I'm seeing somebody clutch your pearls. What do you mean you're talking to me that way? Well, don't let somebody match your energy. And I think you haven't gotten that yet. I think a lot of people respect you. I think people, in a lot of ways, people do respect your opinion to certain degrees, and they value how tough and strong you are. But I think it's going over a little bit. The cuppeth is running over. Six of Swords, sail to calmer waters. Let it go. Death. And this collective, you got to learn to let some things go. And for another example, if I don't know, I brought up a best friend earlier. Again, if you're that friend that gives friends, other friends tough love, maybe your friends are doing something with their personal lives that maybe you don't agree with. You're kind of like, what are you doing? Maybe you're in this mode of, I wish people would listen to me. You can't save everybody, babe. And that's where I'm saying, people value your opinions because you know how to talk to people. You know how to give them tough love without coming off harsh. But I think things are going too far, though. Okay. Some people just, with that Six of Swords, you need to let the bird fly. You can't save them. That's where I'm saying unsolicited advice. Don't be calling them saying you shouldn't be doing that. Don't do that. Let them go live. Let them go make mistakes. Let them figure it out. And I know where it's coming from. You want to save people. You think, well, if I voice my opinion or I voice this out, it will stop them. No, as bad as it sounds, babe, it's going to push people to do what they want anyways. If people want to go screw up their marriage, that's on them. If people want to talk crap to you, that's on them. This is a lesson that is coming up that you got to learn to let things go. The World in reverse, cycle's not complete. Let me do one more for that and I'll be done. This is actually nice energy. I know there's that Seven of Swords. I would be careful. Do not dish out what you can't take in. I value this collective. Like I say, you have a way with words. That's why I brought up psychology, therapy. You have a way to talk to people, but with the devil, you tend to take it too far. Just be careful. Somebody can match your energy soon. And you're not going to like it.